Bless the Lord! We've finally got a good Star Wars film! Despite what many critics said, I had a fun time with The Rise of Skywalker. You may say, oh Robert, you wanted to have a fun time. That's the whole point! I didn't want to be fucking depressed with more Last Jedi bullshit. Yes, The Last Jedi might be more interesting as a weird art house experiment disguised as a Star Wars film. But this felt more Star Warsy. Yes, that would have been fun. The Last Jedi would have been fine if it was a parody of Star Wars. But it's not. We were told by the advertisements it was. And that's the whole thing with subverting expectations. It didn't do it in a satisfying way. It just felt like a punch in the face. It felt weird and just stupid and almost downright annoying. And it didn't give us anything in return. What did it give us? Fuck all. I honestly found it bored. I honestly nodded off. And I just really didn't like it. I enjoyed The Force Awakens, but The Last Jedi just kind of completely threw me for a loop. And it made me realise that Star Wars is maybe going away. Because a lot of people did not like The Last Jedi. A lot of people did not like The Last Jedi. Despite what people say, it is not a good film. Personally, I didn't like it. You can enjoy it. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. But for me, it's fundamentally flawed. With terrible humour, downright idiotic decisions, both the First Order and the Resistance act like the Resistance honestly came across as idiots because they thought like they didn't come up with a plan if like all hope was lost. Honestly, Jesus Christ. And maybe, yeah, it kind of is warranted, but wouldn't they have a backup plan for all hope is lost? And it just makes the Resistance look dumb and egotistical. Either one is not good. And the First Order just looked pathetic. Anyway, enough about The Last Jedi. Now on to this movie. This movie had likeable, fun characters. The new characters, even though they appeared for like a few seconds, which is the flaw of the film. There are so many plot points in this film that you have to have. That it's made for like people with short attention spans. Basically, it's a Star Wars film for the new generation. Am I right, lads? Yeah. So it's just, it goes from one plot point to another. Foe has a lost flame, a lover, and yeah, proving that he has a case of the not gays. And Finn has a case of the not gays as well. That means Finn has a case of the not gays. Rey, we get the first girl-on-girl kiss in Star Wars on the lips. We get the first kiss in the sequel trilogy. And that's what the previous two movies lacked. Love. This movie is about love conquering hate. The light conquering the dark side. Palpatine, who, it's really fucking stupid how he came back if you think about it. But if you can just turn your brain off for 1 second and stop being so cynical, you can enjoy this film. Kind of like how I enjoyed the prequels. I turn my brain off and have some drugs and have some friends over, and it's a good time. Did I just admit to having drugs? I mean alcohol, which is still worse, but okay. Yeah, anyway, anywho, moving swiftly on. Don't watch this, college. Please don't. I don't actually drink alcohol or do drugs, so don't kick me off the college practice, please. Anyway. Oh shit. Okay, back to the actual review. Sorry. That was totally unplanned. Anyway, so yes, it felt very rushed, but that's okay, because that's the best you could do. He basically had to cram in 3 movies worth of character development, two movies worth of character development into one film, and that is why episode 9 should have been split into 2 films, personally, or like have like a director's cut. Maybe director's cut is better. There could be part 1, part 2 director's cut. Sort of give flesh out plot points and make it much better, I feel. And that's why it had to be so long, because he had so many ideas on the table, so many new interesting ideas that hasn't been explored in Star Wars. Like the scene with the bloody sort of World War II scene where like Crystal Notch, I believe, where like stormtroopers are taking people at their homes and like executing them, and it is pretty much very harrowing and a very tense scene. But I just wish we would spend more time with those interesting plot elements. The Sith troopers were an interesting concept, and we could see that one blaster bolt wouldn't be enough to take down a Sith trooper, because you saw resistance troopers trying to shoot down these Sith troopers, and they weren't going down without a fight. And it felt very climactic and very, like, everything's been leading up to this. This is basically, and then we have Lando Calrissian, God bless his soul. You could tell it was just, oh my god, it was, he was just like, oh my god, it was sad seeing him there, and just seeing him with Chewbacca in his Millennium Falcon was absolutely beautiful moment. It was, I just, wow. Rey actually was fallible, and she could be turned to the dark side. We found she had weakness inside of her, and her weakness was her friends, kind of like with Luke, but a little bit even more like weirder and strange. It does lift a lot of the plot elements from Return of the Jedi, but it leans heavily on the Sith lore, and it brings back the Sith as species to the canon. Because in old Legends lore, the Sith were a species. They were a species before they were like a cult. The Sith species were a species that had a strong connection to the dark side of the Force, which made them pretty fucking terrifying, basically. And yeah, we also a lot of the Sith Trooper battalions are named after old Sith Lords. Like Darth Revan, for example, the most famous of the Legends Sith Lords, the main character of the KOTOR games and guest featured in the Knights of the Old Republic, in the Old Republic RPG video game. And that just put us, finding that out, that just put a smile on my face. And finding out that Rey is in fact the candidate for the Force made me realize, oh my god, Rey Skywalker, Rey Palpatine, she is in fact a Palpatine. But then they decided, you know what, basically she changes her surname essentially to Skywalker, and we finally go to the old Lars home where Luke was, and Rey gets a new lightsaber, which I guessed it. I knew it was gonna be a different colour from blue. I knew it was gonna be like yellow or orange. It turns out to be yellow, which makes sense, goes with her cloak. More Jedis should have had. I feel like there should have been more Jedis with different coloured lightsabers in the Clone Wars, but I guess that's gonna be expanded upon in the next Star Wars films, which will be the prequels to the prequels. Basically, the covering the Old Republic, the Mandalorian blockade, the Battle of Malachor, the Sith Empire, the rise of the Sith Empire, the rise and fall of the Old Republic, and the Jedi. So I believe we're gonna get Revan in this new film. Darth Revan is officially canon. He is, which I just love that fact. It just puts a smile on my face. He's such a great and lovable but yet despicable character in the original canon. And KOTOR is such a damn fine game. And hopefully that means HK-47 is canon. Well, he was in Galaxy of Heroes, so that kind of gave it away, that did. And I just love HK-47. But we're getting off topic here. C-3PO got a little bit of limelight, and every line of dialogue that C-3PO said just made me laugh, outside of the stuff that was meant to be serious. And yeah, Rey did come off as sort of a space Jesus, but 5 years was but there was 5 years of canon, or 3 years of material in between the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker, and you could tell that J.J. Abrams knew that Rian Johnson fucked up with the Last Jedi. We're not mad that the Last Jedi took chances. We're just mad that the Last Jedi didn't stick to those chances. And we're mad that the ending isn't depressing. Why is the ending not depressing? Can they sense that a boy's lifting up a broom from the other side of the galaxy? Why? And it just occurred to me, wait, this isn't Disney's fault. This is because Disney allowed the Russo brothers to direct the most depressing ending in all of blockbuster cinema. Infinity War. Infinity War is just the most depressing end to a film franchise in the world. If only we didn't know about Spider-Man: Homecoming and Black Panther making a lot of money. If only we didn't know that the Guardians were going to be back in Guardians Bullying Team. If only Disney kept their mouth shut about all that, then it would have been tons depressing. But there were other characters that went away that we never thought we would see again. We did, but we didn't think that at the time. But yet The Last Jedi didn't do that. However, The Rise of Skywalker is tonally consistent, and the jokes do not go over the dramatic moments, okay? The dramatic moments are meant to not be funny. They are meant to be serious, but also a little bit of humour here and there, but not taking away at the plot. It's just weird how some people like The Last Jedi for that. But I just can't see it. I'm sorry, guys. It might just be me being a Star Wars fan, but I don't know. I prefer this. Wait a second. Oh god, the phone's about to die. So yeah, I gotta make this quick. So yeah, I actually like all the characters were fun. Finn, Palpatine's obviously fun. Ian McDiarmid is a national treasure, and anybody who says otherwise does not have a soul. You cannot have a soul and not like Palpatine, let me tell you. And Captain Pride, Hugh Grant, is just an absolute bastard. He is. He just mercilessly, cold-heartedly kills people. Now the new Sith Final Order didn't make much sense, but I liked it. It was a ton of fun, and I would give it an 8 out of 10. And I know that's quite high. I could give it a 7 out of 10. But one thing that elevated it is that it respected all eras. The current era, the sequel trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and the original trilogy. We had Kenobi, we had Yoda, we had Anakin, we had Kanan, we had Ahsoka, we had everybody, and it made sense. What would have been even better is if we all saw them standing alongside Rey and all going into the space and being the Deus Ex Machina that would save everybody. And the moment when, and clearly Kylo Ren is the most well-developed character in this whole entire trilogy. All the humour was fun, all the action was intense and also exciting at the same time, and there were high stakes. The First Order was a threat again. They weren't just cosplayers, because they were being backed up by the real deal himself, Palpatine. And we also got to see a little bit of Stormtrooper rebellion with what's-her-name. And also, I quite liked Zori Bliss. I wasn't expecting to like her as much as I did, but I really did. And also, same goes for the new droid character as well. He was quite fun. And the wee little creature guy he was kind of weird, but also entertaining at the same time. So I quite liked it. And it was just so much fun. The scenes on the Death Star were creepy with the Darth Rey, the dark side Rey. She was relishing it. She just looked like she was having fun with that part. I quite liked it as well. It just came across as just so bloody entertaining and everybody, but some people just don't like it and I don't get why. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll see you all next time, and I'm going to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This year has been absolute shit yet again, but 2020, I feel it. I'm going to be loved. You're going to get love. I'm going to get love. We're all going to be loved by somebody, because you know why? Because we just been lonely all our lives because of this internet, but we've finally getting out and talking to people, taking off our headphones and leaving our tablets and consoles and computers behind and getting some fresh air, talking to people, having drinks, being teenagers, because we've been told we can do that now. And I hope you will join me on the last video of 2019, my New Year's Eve special, which I'm going to entitle the last video of 2019. Only the most creative ideas from me. So I'll see you all in the new year, technically. Depends if I release it there. I might actually release a couple of videos. I might get an acoustic guitar, or I might play I Believe in Father Christmas. Might be late. I'm sorry. I don't have an acoustic guitar yet, but I can only play that song on an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar. Here's the beauty. You've seen this one a few times. I'll see you all in the next one then. Goodbye.